The first thing we need in order to create our virtual machine is a disk image. The Ubuntu 18.04 disk image is available at releases.ubuntu.com/18.04. We'll be using the desktop image for this tutorial, and you can download it by clicking the link on the right. While that's downloading, we'll prepare an empty virtual machine in VirtualBox on which to install Ubuntu. I assume you've already got VirtualBox installed, but if you don't, you can download the installer by going to the Download section of the VirtualBox website. There are packages available for most major operating systems such as Windows, Mac OS X, Linux, and Solaris. To create a new, empty virtual machine in VirtualBox, simply click the New button at the top of the window. Since we'll be installing Ubuntu 18.04 on this virtual machine, I'll set the name to Ubuntu 18.04. The machine folder is the directory in which VirtualBox will store your virtual machine files. I'll leave it as the default. The next two sections are really important as they need to match the operating system we'll be installing. VirtualBox has automatically populated them for me after I set the name of the virtual machine to Ubuntu. If your type and version settings weren't set automatically, make sure that the type is set to Linux and the version is set to Ubuntu 64-bit. The memory size was automatically populated for me as well. 1024 megabytes of memory will be enough for our Ubuntu virtual machine, so I'll leave it at the default. You can change this setting at a later time if you need more memory. In the hard disk section, we'll leave the option as Create a virtual hard disk now. I'll go ahead and click Create to bring up the virtual hard disk settings. The defaults for all these settings should be totally fine. The file location should match your VM name, and the default file size of 10 GB will be more than enough for the virtual machine. The hard disk file type should be set to VDI by default, and I suggest leaving Storage on physical disk set to dynamically allocated, which will make sure that the file for the VM's hard disk scales up and down automatically depending on how much space is actually being used by the VM. Finally, click Create to create our new empty virtual machine. You can see that a new Ubuntu 18.04 virtual machine has appeared in the left sidebar. A quick tip to improve the performance of your VirtualBox VMs is to make sure that they can use all of the CPU cores available on your host machine. Because CPUs work like a scheduler rather than a limited pool like RAM, this doesn't hurt performance of the host machine but really improves the performance of the VM. To increase the number of CPU cores allocated to the VM, click the Settings button and go to the System section. In the System section, go to the Processor tab and drag the Processors slider all the way up. Click OK to save the changes. My disk image has finished downloading, and I can see the complete Ubuntu 18.04 ISO file in my Downloads folder. We'll boot the virtual machine with this disk image to install Ubuntu. Go ahead and click the Start button at the top of the VirtualBox window. You'll see a dialog box asking for a bootable disk image. Click the little folder icon on the bottom right-hand side and select the Ubuntu disk image you downloaded by clicking Open. You'll see that the drop-down menu has been populated with the disk image. Click Start to boot the virtual machine. I'll increase the size of the virtual screen by opening the View menu and setting the scale of Virtual Screen 1 to 200%. Once the Ubuntu installer has finished loading, select your language and click Install Ubuntu. The US English keyboard layout is fine for me, so I'll click Continue. In the next section, you'll be asked about what type of installation to do and whether or not to install updates. I suggest leaving these as Normal Installation and Download Updates while installing Ubuntu. In the Installation Type screen, leave the setting as Erase Disk and Install Ubuntu and click Install Now. The installer will ask you to confirm the disk configuration by clicking Continue. In the next section, you'll be asked to set your time zone. The default location is correct for me, so I'll click Continue. In the final screen of the wizard, you'll be asked to set your username and password. I'll set my name to Percy and then enter and confirm my password. I'll also change the login setting to log me in automatically on boot. Clicking Continue kicks the installation process off for real, and you'll need to wait a few minutes for the installer to finish installing everything. Once the installer finishes, you'll be asked to restart the system to complete the installation. Click Restart to reboot the VM. Once your VM reboots, you'll be greeted with your Ubuntu desktop and a What's New in Ubuntu screen, which you can just quit out of. Your Ubuntu VM is ready to use at this point, but I highly suggest installing the VirtualBox Guest Editions, which contain drivers and system applications to optimize the performance of the VM and enable features like Clipboard sharing, which allows you to copy and paste things between your host OS and your Ubuntu VM. To install the Guest Editions, open the Devices menu and then click Insert Guest Editions CD image. Click Run when Ubuntu asks you if you want to run the Guest Edition software, and then enter your password in the authentication dialog. You may get some errors like this when installing the Guest Editions. I get an error saying this system is not currently set up to build kernel modules, and another saying please install the GCC, Make, and Perl packages. If you get errors like this as well, we'll need to install those packages and restart the Guest Editions installer. Press Enter to close the installer, right-click on the desktop and click Open Terminal. In the terminal, run sudo apt-get update to update your apt package cache, and then install the required packages by running sudo apt-get install -y gcc make perl. When the installation completes, we're ready to restart the Guest Editions installer. I'll close the terminal, close this software updater window, then right-click the Guest Edition CD and click Open. Click Run Software at the top right, click Run in the dialog box and enter your password again. This time the Guest Editions installer should succeed, and you'll see a little message saying running kernel modules will not be replaced until the system is restarted. So let's close the installer by pressing Enter, close out of the Guest Editions CD, and restart Ubuntu by clicking the arrow at the top right of the desktop, clicking the power icon, and then clicking Restart. Once the system reboots, feel free to eject the Guest Editions CD and test out that your Guest Editions features are working. Let's test the Shared Clipboard feature, which allows you to share the clipboard between your host machine and the VM. Open the Shared Clipboard menu inside the Devices menu. You can see that by default the Shared Clipboard is disabled, and there are a few options about which direction the clipboard should be shared. In this case, let's test out bidirectional, which allows us to copy from the host to the guest, as well as from the guest to the host. Next, let's open the terminal by right-clicking on the desktop and run a simple command to generate some output to copy. Let's run echo hello from guest, and then copy the output and the command. Back in macOS, I'll open Sublime Text and paste the copied text with Command V. Let's check that the clipboard sharing works in the other direction too. Let's write another command and copy it across. How about echo hello from host? Let's select the command, copy it, and then head back to our Ubuntu VM. Back in the Ubuntu terminal, right-click and select Paste, and you should see the text we copied over from Sublime running in macOS. Awesome! So now we've got a full Ubuntu 18.04 virtual machine with Guest Editions installed. You can quit the VM and save its state by clicking the Close button and choosing Save Machine State. If at any time you want to launch the VM again, simply select the virtual machine in the left sidebar and click Start. Thanks for watching everyone, I really hope you found that tutorial useful. If you have any questions at all, hit me up in the comments and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel to see more content like this. Thanks again and see you next time.